Jaguar Wright is back, and she's not holding back this time. She is revealing what she refers to as the truth about Jim Jones and Chrissy Lampkin's whole relationship in her most recent ferocious tirade, asserting that it was a planned setup rather than genuine love. Jaguar claims that their romance was a commercial partnership designed to safeguard specific trade secrets. It wasn't the fairy tale admirers believed it to be. People are questioning everything they've ever seen from the internet as a result of her shocking claims. Couple's lengthy and dramatic past. Jim and Chrissy's relationship, according to Jaguar, was designed to divert public attention from influential people who were manipulating things behind the scenes. Every proposal, every breakup, even the reality TV moments that went viral were staged. You were sold a love narrative by them. During a contentious live stream, she stated, however, that was not love. That was a script. In the hip-hop community, her remarks were like a grenade. Fans are caught between curiosity and incredulity. Ultimately, Jim and Chrissy have been among the most enduring pairs in the culture, enduring breakups, reality shows, mayhem, and never-ending gossip. However, Jaguar now asserts that it was all a part of a larger scheme, one that made them both wealthy, safe, and in charge. Now, it's not a question of whether Jaguar's stating the truth. The question is whether she has the evidence to support it. And if she does, the storyline behind Jim and Chrissy's purported romance may completely collapse. The internet has never stopped humming since the newest round of startling claims made by Jaguar Wright. This time, Chrissy Lampkin and Jim Jones were specifically targeted. Jaguar didn't only allude at conflict between the two in a startling live webcast that has now gone viral. She blatantly accused them of leading a false life. She claims that everything that viewers have witnessed about Jim and Chrissy over the years, their conflict, their love story, and their TV appearances wasn't natural. Everything was prearranged. She made a statement at the start of her tirade that quickly attracted everyone's attention. Do you still believe that Chrissy and Jim Jones are in love? Please, baby. From the beginning, that was a setup. It was profit rather than love. Social media was rocked by the directness of her speech. People hurried to repeat what she had said, analyzing each sentence. Jaguar went on, stating, they wanted a pair who could offer the image of authority and loyalty while disguising what was really going on behind the curtain. The relationship was staged to safeguard deeper company secrets. Jim was tied to certain people who didn't want the truth about their connections to come out, so they handed him Chrissy, someone who was intelligent, devoted, and eager to play the part, and the comment section lit up right away. Certain users labeled her deluded, but some noted that the hypothesis wasn't entirely implausible. Jim and Chrissy's relationship has always seemed out of the ordinary. Despite being together for more than 20 years, they had never tied the knot. Jaguar seemed to address the questions that fans have frequently asked about why Chrissy proposed to Jim on love and hip-hop rather than the other way around, or why their engagement seemed to go on forever without resolution. Have you ever wondered why they never got married? She questioned. They couldn't afford that kind of truth to come out because the paperwork would expose too much. People were shocked. Within minutes, videos with captions like Jaguar exposes Jim Jones were making the rounds on X, which was formerly Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. And Chrissy's setup garnered hundreds of thousands of views. Fans started seeing connections, retrieving old video from Love and Hip Hop New York, going back to interviews, and comparing Chrissy's body language to Jim's whenever marriage-related queries arose. She went on to say that even the couple's ardent admirers couldn't help to acknowledge that something about their relationship always felt like a lighted scripted. Jaguar's allegation simply seemed to give those doubts a new dimension. They needed a love story to sell, she added, and their connection was also exploited to uphold an image that benefited prominent industry figures. Jaguar stated, Black power couple, loyal woman, street legend, transformed into a businessman. It was ideal for TV, sponsorships, and diversion. Then came the shocking revelation. Jaguar claimed that certain record executives, and she emphasized that half of the relationships you see on TV aren't real, and that network producers were aware of the arrangement. Jim and Chrissy were just one of the first examples. Fans engaged in intense online debate when they were used to legitimize the concept of phony love in Hollywood. One tweet said, Jaguar might be crazy, but tell me why Chrissy's been engaged for 10 years without no marriage. There's a problem. She's speaking facts, another person remarked. Why are you guys acting shocked when Hollywood has been fabricating romances for decades? Jim and Chrissy, on the other hand, don't say anything at all. No Instagram posts, no comments, no denials, and in the realm of celebrity culture, silence frequently speaks louder than words. Some insiders started to weigh in, arguing that the Jaguar story wasn't totally made up. According to an anonymous source who was once Love and Hip Hop New York's production assistant, they told an online blog, there was always chatter that certain couples were urged to play increased drama in order to boost viewership. Jim and Chrissy were the stars of reality TV. It didn't matter if it was true or not, the crowd devoured it. However, Jaguar went farther. She implied that their relationship protected Jim from investigation related to underground transactions and illegal money, asserting that there was more at stake than just television drama. She never offered concrete proof, but stated, "Ask why certain people never went to jail when their friends did. Why do certain people consistently manage to get back up after making mistakes? They're protected, that's why." And occasionally, love is the cover narrative. Those remarks rekindled long-standing rumors about Jim Jones, his street contacts, and his purported links to influential people. Suddenly, people were re-examining previous interviews in which Jim avoided answering questions about his financial or affiliational ties. Conversely, Jaguar maintained that Chrissy was more than simply his girlfriend. She was his handler, his shield, and his guardian, and that she knew too much to go. Fans started speculating that Chrissy's loyalty wasn't just romantic after she said that's why she's still around, because she knows if she leaves, the truth might follow her. It was survival. Some even asserted that the burden of maintaining secrets, rather than sadness, was the cause of her dramatic outbursts on Love and Hip Hop. Amid all this turmoil, Jaguar continued her crusade, declaring that she wasn't scared of the reaction. "They can try to silence me all they want, but I'm going to keep speaking the truth," she said. "People deserve to know that not everything you." Her remarks sent shivers throughout social media as bloggers, commentators, and YouTube channels began analyzing her every assertion. Comparing timelines, body language analysis, and retrieving receipts made the Jim and Chrissy fairy story seem less miraculous all of a sudden. However, other people continued to support the couple, claiming Jaguar was merely looking for limelight. "She's been calling out everyone lately," a fan wrote. "Beyond Diddy, Mary J. Blah, and now Jim and Chrissy are all saying whatever is popular." However, some contended that despite Jaguar's disorganized delivery, her information included hints of truth. One blogger wrote, "Say what you want about her. However, every time someone disregards her, something eventually emerges that shows she wasn't totally incorrect." By the conclusion of the week, on several sites, the names of Jim and Chrissy were trending. Fan theories erupted, old clips reappeared, and even mainstream blogs started posing queries. After all these years, why haven't Jim and Chrissy been married? Caused a stir on social media. While some fans refused to accept it, others began to recognize trends. People started looking into Chrissy's past relationships and history, making connections between the people she knew prior to meeting Jim. The idea that Jaguar might be telling the truth began to gain traction when old pictures, party film, and industry reports began to reappear online. According to Jaguar, Jim's association with specific showbiz icons, people were unaware of how deeply ingrained industry and even street politics were. Jim was more than just a musician. He was in the center of something far larger, she continued. Additionally, when things began to hot, the industry provided him with protection, not security, but a relationship that would divert attention. Then she said something that stopped the audience in their tracks. Chrissy served as the diversion and fulfilled her role. Ideal. Almost immediately, that sentence became viral. Bloggers started theorizing that Jim's public relationship had been used as a shield to soften his image, transforming him from an approachable reality TV star to a feared figure in the streets. "Jaguar might be wild, but you can't lie," a commenter tweeted. When Chrissy appeared, Jim's whole persona was altered. In the meantime, viewers started rewatching episodes of Hip Hop New York and Old Love and noticed aspects they had not previously noticed. The tension, the way Chrissy occasionally seemed to refrain from speaking too much on camera, and the way Jim sidestepped some private inquiries. Suddenly, it seemed more like a well-managed partnership than a love story. Jaguar wasn't done though. She said she had heard rumors regarding Chrissy's pay. "Do you really believe that her years of presence have been in vain?" Jaguar claimed that Jim is not the only one who looks after her. She is a part of a system designed to keep some people in check. They made sure Chrissy kept Jim grounded or at least distracted when he began to act recklessly. Social media went into a frenzy over the comments. Old rumors concerning Jim's enterprises and screenshots of purported financial transactions started making the rounds. Some even asserted that industry insiders with connections to Jim's network financed Chrissy's design endeavors and TV prospects. It didn't take long for Jim's name to start trending among other problematic individuals like Diddy and Jay-Z, names Jaguar had. Blogs started writing speculative stories headlined "Was Chrissy paid to stay with Jim Jones?" and "Jaguar Wright may have just found the largest PR cover-up in the industry." Additionally, Jim was accused of influencing the industry behind closed doors. At one point, Jaguar even went so far as to say that Jim had been coerced into entering into specific commercial agreements that benefited others behind closed doors but did not benefit him, although he served in the military. "I thought he was a boss," she remarked. "And as long as he kept quiet and didn't reveal their business, those in positions of authority allowed him to think that. Chrissy's presence," she continued, "guaranteed that silence. You'll note that something always happens as Jim begins to move away from the limelight. A fresh plot, a public altercation with Chrissy, and a new TV appearance. It works like clockwork. It maintains he was apparent yet preoccupied. Keeps the viewer's attention on love rather than what goes on behind it." Some admirers looked back at Jim's recent interviews because of her assertions. In one, he was questioned on his money and humorous deflection. In another, he dodged inquiries about his history with record labels. Under Jaguar's light, even casual remarks from years ago suddenly seemed suspicious. However, few in a video of Jim and Chrissy at a private event appeared. The situation became more strained. In the video, Chrissy looked agitated and turned away as Jim attempted to talk to her. Fans immediately connected the video to Jaguar's charges, indicating that the arrangement was beginning to crumble. Jaguar responded to that video with even another tirade. "That's what occurs when the illusion begins to fall apart," she uttered. Even popular gossip sites like Hollywood Unlocked and The Shade Room started covering the controversy at this point. "You can only fake love for so long before it starts to show in your eyes." However, rather than dealing with it, the noise merely piqued people's interest as Jim and Chrissy ignored it. Speaking anonymously, one person purportedly close to Jim expressed his anger. He doesn't want to satisfy Jaguar by responding. However, this circumstance is creating stress behind closed doors. For the first time in weeks, Chrissy was seen attending a charity function by herself without Jim. The paparazzi images led to even more conjecture. Jaguar didn't miss a beat, despite comments from admirers such as "She looks tired and maybe she's realizing it's time to move on." "Chrissy is realizing her role is ending," she said as she leapt back online. "No matter how long you try to hide it, the truth always comes out. The deal's done. The setup's collapsing," she said. That other cast members of Love and Hip Hop began providing oblique commentary. A mysterious Instagram tale was shared by a former co-star. "Not everything on television is as it seems. Some of you love stories were scripts, and fans thought right away that it was directed at Jim and Chrissy. The story Jaguar was promoting got too loud to ignore. It was no longer about rumors, cultural conversation." Jaguar remained confident in the face of criticism, which questioned how many celebrity connections had been formed for commercial or industrial protection. "People can call me crazy, but I've been right before," she remarked. "When I told them that other artists were under control, they laughed, but now they're being revealed. Give it time. Jim and Chrissy's truth will also come to light." Whether or not she had direct proof this time didn't seem to matter. The seed of skepticism was set because throughout the years, a number of Jaguar's bizarre assertions had eventually been shown to be true. As additional bloggers dug further, old interviews appeared in which Jim acknowledged having trouble with trust and Chrissy acknowledged feeling worn out and undervalued. Suddenly, their once glamorous image appeared to be a lengthy, exhausting performance. Jaguar concluded her live performance that evening with a terrifying revelation that left everyone stunned. "Everything in this industry is a transaction. Love, loyalty, even relationships are like currency, and sometimes the truth is eventually cashed in when that coin runs out." The live event ended abruptly, and within minutes her name was trending once more. However, Jaguar implied that she had receipts to support her accusations. Documents, messages, and more that would supposedly definitively show the Jim KZ setup. So anyone who believed she was finished was mistaken. When Jaguar Wright reappeared online for her third and most dramatic live stream, the internet was ablaze. The world was waiting for her next move, and Jim and Chrissy's silence was just making it worse. Her previous charges had already damaged the reputations of Jim Jones and Chrissy Lampkin, but now she pledged to remove the proof that would reveal the truth. Everyone was watching her, from bloggers to big hip-hop venues. Once and for all, what transpired that evening felt more than just rumors. It was a confession from someone who had finally decided to stop keeping quiet after witnessing too much. The lives began calmly. "I told y'all this wasn't love, it was strategy," Jaguar said, sitting in a dimly lit room with opaque shades on and her phone near the camera. Jim had been shielded for years, but there was a cost to the protection, and that cost was Chrissy. She described a purported contractual relationship in a tone that was icy and almost aloof, as if she was sick of being written off. Between Jim and Chrissy, it wasn't a formal marriage license, but rather a business deal that was set up years ago when Jim needed someone to stabilize his public image following the legal issues and label controversy. His image. According to Jaguar, they chose Chrissy because she was already well-known, sophisticated, devoted, and manageable. She could make Jim appear like a man in love rather than a man in trouble. Her followers packed the chat, wanting proof. At that point, Jaguar produced what she described as screenshots, receipts, emails, and old pictures that she said connected Jim and Chrissy to specific entertainment executives. She claimed that one of the emails described how producers pushed for the timing of the couple's proposal tale to appear during the same week that Jim was receiving criticism from the public for a violent event was deliberate, she claimed. Regardless of the veracity of the facts, didn't really matter at that point. Bloggers started dissecting every word, and within hours, Jaguar Wright's expose of Jim Jones became the most popular topic on the internet. Social media sites, Jaguar's account became more sinister as she went on, claiming that Chrissy had tried to leave the arrangement years prior after becoming weary of it. But influential individuals persuaded her to stay. "You think she doesn't want to leave? Please. Chrissy wants her own life, but leaving something that profound isn't easy." Jaguar stated, "There's money involved, there's image, and there's fear." She went on to say that Chrissy's ongoing loyalty was survival rather than love, and that she stayed because she didn't want to be erased. "You are rewarded when you follow their guidelines." Insiders reported that Jim Jones was enraged behind closed doors, telling those close to him that he was tired of being treated disrespectfully and that he was considering legal action. But each time he thought about answering, the team cautioned him against it, saying that any response would draw even more attention to Jaguar. As a result, Jim and Chrissy remained mute once more, and their silence-only fans started speculating that Jim was concealing something by refusing to publicly defend his love story. "If someone came for my relationship like that, I'd speak up immediately," they said. "The silence is suspicious," a fan tweeted. The most startling turn of events occurred when an unidentified source contacted a well-known gossip blog and claimed to have collaborated closely with Jim and Chrissy during their early years on reality TV. According to the insider, who supported Jaguar's account, the producers were fully aware of what they were doing when they created the couple's public persona, staging everything from the fight to the proposal. "It was all part of an image that kept people talking," the author wrote. After the post went viral, other insiders started hinting at the contracts and media manipulation that formed Jaguar's statements. Hip-hop relationships. As the story gained traction, even those who had previously disregarded Jaguar began referring to her as the industry's truth teller. Meanwhile, Chrissy was once more spotted, this time leaving a restaurant by herself. She was seen wiping her eyes before getting into her car in paparazzi photos, which went viral on social media with titles like "Chrissy breaks down after Jaguar's expose." The optics didn't assist Jim's argument, but Jaguar responded in a matter of hours. "You see that? She's weary of faking," she said in another little video. For more than 10 years, the woman has been the face of an unreal fairy tale. However, not everyone was on Jaguar's side. Some followers accused her of using people's personal information to gain influence, while others pointed out that she hadn't offered verified evidence. "Jaguar always got sources, but never the receipts that hold up," a spectator remarked. Even her detractors acknowledged that she was speaking. Despite the mounting criticism, people paid attention. Jaguar did not falter. She made one of her most eerie remarks to date as she concluded her last live stream. "You can fake love for cameras, but you can't fake energy. What you've been witnessing is two individuals caught in a pact that neither of them wanted to keep anymore. The energy between Jim and Chrissy died a long time ago." She then disappeared from social media for a few days. No lives, no posts, no comments. The internet began to conjecture once more, with hypotheses ranging from her being silenced to her planning a more significant revelation. Then, an unforeseen incident fueled the flames even more. Jim Jones shared a mysterious Instagram story with the words "Truth ain't free" on a black screen. Fans were going crazy in a matter of minutes without any explanation, tag, or caption. Was it a response to Jaguar? Was he acknowledging something, or was he simply making fun of the rumors? The timing couldn't have been more dubious, and the discussion went well beyond social media. Veterans of the industry began to weigh in, discussing how business interests frequently drive Hollywood relationships. In an interview, one producer stated, "People act like these shows are documentaries. They're not. They are works of art. Everybody has a part to play." By that point, Jaguar had completely altered the discourse, turning what had begun as an explosive charge into a full-fledged cultural reckoning. Even others who didn't care about Jim and Chrissy started to doubt the industry's delusions regarding authenticity, celebrity, and manipulation. A week later, Jaguar made a quick reappearance. "They can call me insane, but I don't lie. I speak what I've seen, and if you all knew what I know, you'd never believe in a single love tale you see on TV once more." The video went viral right once, and fans showered her with comments pleading for her to share more, but she declined. Jim and Chrissy's social media activity slowed down after she said, "You've seen the surface. The real story is still buried underneath." Fans were left with more questions than answers by the narrative. There were only a few posts, no interviews, and no answers, just quiet, the kind that conveys everything without using a single word. Love in the spotlight can be the most compelling performance of all, and Jaguar Wright had made the world look beyond the curtain. Whether she was correct or not, she reminded everyone that stardom isn't always genuine. It was no longer just about Jim and Chrissy. It was about every flawless pair created for the camera, every staged moment passed off as passion, and every delusion presented to the world as reality. In the end, Jaguar Wright exposed more than just a romance. What she actually exposed was the system itself, where nothing is holy and everything, including love, may be part of the setup. Whether you believe her claims or not, one thing is certain: her remarks made fans reevaluate everything they believed to be true about Jim Jones and Chrissy Lampkin. She revealed the essence of what stardom actually looks like when the cameras stopped filming. If Jaguar's version of events is even somewhat accurate, then this wasn't just a romance, rather, it was a contract, a setup intended to divert attention and exert control. Was it a love tale genuinely based on emotion and loyalty, or was it meticulously planned, controlled, and marketed as entertainment, narratives, and to shield influential people under the pretense of love? Perhaps this is the reason Jim and Chrissy have remained silent. Sometimes silence is protection rather than strength. Fans are suddenly left attempting to piece together the truth from performance. I'm curious in the depth of this setup. Was Chrissy a cooperative partner in everything? Or was she merely another casualty of the mechanism that Jaguar had cautioned about? It's evident that this tale is far from the end, and in the uncertain the world of celebrity,